All right, welcome everybody. Today we've got a nice piece of Flint Ridge. I was given this piece up at or down at Silver Springs at the Nap Inn down there, and it's real pretty stuff. There might be some little seams in there that we'll got to work around, but other than that, it looks pretty solid. So, thinking about making a Clovis point. Had somebody ask me the other day to make him a Clovis point. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right. Now this is a flat edge. This is a percussion slab, so there's a little bit of thickness there. And I'm not used to working these. You know, I've never worked slabs at all. So this is kind of my first experience of napping a slab. But seems to work pretty good. This is some really nice material. I'm used to the tough Alabama coastal, so this is a nice change. Able to set up your platforms real nice. You don't have to abrade so much like you're working Tallahassee or coastal. I'm gonna follow this ridge, kind of go into this area here. And I held it here and it went up in here. All right, still gotta figure out what I want where I want my base and where I want my tip. I think my base is pretty much good to go, really, from any angle. I don't know, I really like this bottom area, so I may try to make this the tip. Even though I might run into some weird areas here, I'd rather have the pretty stuff at the base where the flute runs through than just have a little glimmer of it at the tip. I don't know. Tell me what y'all would do. That's what I'm gonna do. So it's already thin enough to go ahead and flute, you know, if you're, you know, thickness wise, but we're gonna draw this thing in, get a little bit thinner, and then go from there. And I'm not a big Clovis guy. Not that I don't like him, it's just I haven't been making many recently, so I'm really not the professional, or not a professional making Clovis points. But I can make a decent one. And I can replicate points pretty doggone easily, but just feathering these flakes in to build some convexity. You know, I could have drove in, but it would have hinged. I'm trying to build a little convexity here. Make it rounder. Like a biscuit, like a biscuit. Now, Clovis points have some paleo flaking. They don't have parallel, so Simpsons, other paleo pieces do. Clovis's, you don't see parallel as much unless it's on retouch. So what I'm gonna do, it ran, there's a seam right there, that's pretty neat. So what I'm gonna do is build convexity on both sides, you know, make it round, that way it's not just a flat, you know, area. And then we're gonna shape it up, make sure we have some good platforms to flute, and then we'll go from there. Right now I'm just making this edge straight, trying to draw this line in straight. Most people at this stage, they'll go ahead and bevel the entire side, and I might do that. I'm just taking opportunistic flakes, which all that means is, you know, hey, beautiful looking platform there, might as well hit it. And it dips into a flat area, so I'm just gonna feather it, meaning it you know, it stopped right there. And now it's rounder rather than a dip, and you can come back and make a solid platform and hit well up into the point now. Yeah, I like this base. I like the color in this base. So yeah, just building a biscuit shape where, you know, you can easily flake on either side. I'm gonna draw the tip in a little bit. Go ahead and get that situated. Just building a biscuit. You'll see other people say that they like their balls to be in a biscuit shape. Well, for Clovis points particularly, I like them to be in a biscuit shape. Kind of like this, where it'll be easy to do some big percussion scars and then to work over it. So not only am I trying to equal out my line here, have it pretty flush all the way across, but I want, you know, it to be pretty flush across this face too, this side and this side. I don't want any huge humps like this. I want to make sure that it's pretty much a biscuit, you know, like a Popeye's biscuit. They got them flat, long, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in the South, then you know what I'm talking about. Popeye's biscuits. All right, so that dove into a little crusty area. Not really worried about it, to be honest. But I am gonna start doing my overshot flakes, or not my overshot, but my flakes across the piece. So let me get an indirect stick, just for safe measure. Okay, I'm just doing this here so I can show you. Set up a platform to drive across. Still getting used to this material. And maybe it's because of the seam in there, I don't know. But we'll be fine. Do not worry. We shall be fine. There we go. Yeah, that caught it. That caught it really well. Okay. Now we got a good line right there. You see that big fat line? But, you know, this is thin and this is thick. So I want to go ahead and get rid of this thick area. Actually, what I may do is go ahead and do some big scars on this side first and then come back. Okay. All this is just feel and experience, and you know, there's no right way to put the puzzle piece together, you know, unless you're in a tight-knit situation and you have to thread the needle. But generally speaking, now we're coming over this little inclusion area. Okay, that did good. Okay, so we thinned out here, and we thinned out, caught all these flakes. Now I got one to send here. And we got it, that long ridge we were talking about earlier. Now I am gonna take a smaller bopper, and I don't wanna hit, see our big flake here? I don't wanna hit like real close to it, I wanna hit over here. It's okay if you get a little hinge or two. There we go. Went all the way across, or most of the way, I should say. All right, let's go here. Like I said, if it hinges on the side, don't worry about that. Hopefully this is focusing. Those hinges will eventually come out. Okay, just coming across there. Again, we got to tidy this tip up, so we're working there. We're working to it. Okay, good platform. Ran across. Again, we just kind of hit those extra deltas that pop up. We don't want those to give us any additional problems. Okay, I kind of just pinched it. Okay, and it ran the pinch. That should be a cool slogan, it ran the pinch. So yeah, I pinched that whole area and it ran. Again, you don't want these points to be super thin. That's where I get in trouble, because I want them to be thin. Now you have some thin Clovis points, but you know, if it's too thin, you're just going to be fluting over a flat platter. It's not going to flute right. So I'm kind of beveling the edge now to shoot back on this side, but I'm also setting up one last platform here. And we got a big flake here, big flake here. And then we got a good platform to do one more. So all this right here, I can just go ahead and feather that in and it'll be one big strike. Okay, so feathered all this in here. Now I got a good platform. Just had to hit it, and there you go. Some good flake right there. All right, so technically that's a good platform to hit back and thin all this out, but it would be so thin if I got a flake here. That's already that thin. I want to go ahead and shoot in this area, so I'm just gonna bevel it, and I can always shoot back up in there if I need to. In fact, I got a good platform here to shoot in there. This, I'm gonna go ahead and catch this side. All about preference and what you think will work the best. Okay, it caught that little not chalky, but kind of crystal seam area. So not too worried about that, because we still got to thin this piece in. But definitely want to be a little bit careful from here on out. Obviously, not like that. Oh, geez. We still got enough room on the base, and honestly, it'll work out better this way because I'd probably thin it out way too much. But it makes it easier to see this seam here. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch down a size on my bopper. Just beat this thing into shape. Honestly, that's a good profile anyways. So I'll take that. And knowing me, I would have spent way too long going too thin, so I'm just convincing myself that it's okay. That's all I'm doing. Oh, it's a good profile. Oh, it is a good profile. I actually think it's a perfect profile, to be honest. But sometimes I convince myself, like, okay, it's not all that bad. You have to do that sometimes. Sometimes The Rock has other plans. Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but The Rock, you know. Didn't want to misconstrue anything there. Okay. You know what, this base is pretty thick, so don't want to take too much off, because I want to be able to have enough oomph there to flute it. Just trying to get a good hit. Precise hit. This might not work out how I want to, but it did. Okay, I'll just pressure flake the base and get some good flutes, but I do want to tidy up the tip, because we got some good percussion scars now, and we just need to thin it out a little bit. Helps if you look at what you're doing. Now again, we cut off this part of the base, so I want to bring it in even more on this side. So I'm gonna take all this area off. And it's okay, it's a good thing, because we still got to shoot in here. So not too bad. Could go for a Simpson, but my buddy wants a Clovis. By the way, if you hear me pause in my talking, it just means that I'm thinking. I gotta think. Now, if this were any other point, I'd go to indirect here, but with a Clovis point, direct percussion's all I need. Indirect will get it too thin for me. Okay. Still drawing this point in. And here at the base, you are trying to drive, halfway, a little bit more than halfway, but there will be times where it hinges out a little bit, and that's okay. The flute will catch that hinge. So no worries there. You don't want it to be a crazy hinge though. Don't take that advice. You don't want to just have a humongous hinge, but a decent one is okay. Now I'm just meeting these flakes, and honestly kind of chipping away a little bit further in. See how far in I hit on those? I could hit on the very edge, but I'm trying to remove material and keep convexity, and that's what this does. It's able to feather it in, 1, 2, and I'm able to draw in my material at the same time. And it leaves me some platforms that I can hit back if I need to, which I don't at this point, but. Okay, and here. Now here I am getting the tip too thin. I need to stop that. And honestly, when I first started making Clovises, I would just beat them into shape because I was too good at thinning. I just had to beat it into shape. So see, our percussion scars are really nice on this side, aside from this hinge, which we'll probably get out here in a minute. In fact, I kind of want to run a small little flute here, just to remove some of that thickness that was there. You don't want it to be too thick, just enough. And before I flute it, of course, I'll show you what I'm working with. That didn't go as planned. See if we can undercut this hinge right here. Let's see if we can undercut it with this platform. Now, when you have a wide platform like this, wide platforms will make a wide flake. Skinny platforms like that will make a long, thin flake. So let's see what we got. Okay, it was gonna make a wide, but it slightly hinged right here. Not a big deal. I think we're looking okay. I hit down and in. Was able to come back into that area there. Same thing here. Still not perfect, but we're gonna try our best to work around this seam here. And make us a good point. I could pressure flake this thing. It's such a tight window. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. This side is as flat as a platter, and this side has convexity, so I'm gonna get rid of this flatness by shooting about, a quarter of the way across. See here. Okay, same thing here. Not trying to thin, just trying to kind of beat it into shape and get something decent to work with. This right here is as flat as a platter, so I'm going to make a good percussion scar, but also try to keep it kind of rounded rather than so flat. And that's all I'm doing. Trying to make it round. Round, 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 round. And that's all. That's it. Actually getting pretty close to fluting here. So like I said in the beginning, I wanted to try to keep this orange part down here. It might become my downfall with this big seam, but it might just work out okay. All right, yeah, I love this material. Love this material. Got a big hump here. Shooting about halfway right here. Not going super far. Now here I can't afford to shoot back over this way because my platform's a little low. Shoot on this side here. And I need to kind of tidy it up where it's streamlined. So tidy this up a little bit. And I do not want to get this too thin. Can't stress that enough. Good flakes, but don't get it thin. You need some convexity. Okay, perfect. I actually hit above the center line on that one. All right. Just like that, I'd say we're pretty solid. Would have liked one more decent flake in there, but I can pressure flake that. It's not a big deal. Okay, now we got our shape. We kind of beat it into shape. It's nothing fancy. But what we're gonna do now is go ahead and get it ready for fluting. Now, I might intentionally make a hinge here if it doesn't run. Do a little bit of cleanup here first. Okay, stopped at the hinge, that's not bad. Down here, I wanna be able to cross it though. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Here is just a feather. And just kind of beat it into shape. There we go, that's where I wanted that flake at. Earlier was right there. Okay. We're rocking and rolling. We've got the shape. We've got a good enough convexity on both sides. I think we're pretty solid. All right. Looks good to me. So I'm gonna work on the base here and I'm gonna tidy up the tip a little bit later. That's all, that's gonna be all pressure. So kept the decent thickness and now we're gonna work down here. So I'll get back with you, make one more video and we'll finish it up.